Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samiksha. In today's lesson, I will discuss the secret of getting 7+ bands in IELTS writing. So if you are someone who has taken the IELTS test again and again and you are not getting 7 bands or higher bands in writing, then this video is for you. So please watch the video till the end. In my previous video, I discussed about why lexical resources play a very vital role in IELTS writing. So if you have not watched that video, I request you to watch it also and watch this video as well, because both the videos are interrelated. So for 7 bands, it is for sure that lexical resources means advanced level vocabulary is very, very important. You should use uncommon words, and in my previous video, I have given a long list of uncommon words which you can apply. So in vocabulary, another important thing required which can add on extra bands in your lexical resources is collocation. Yes, collocations play a very, very, very vital role in IELTS writing. So let's discuss what are collocations and why they are considered to be very, very important. Collocations are combination of 2-3 words which usually go together, and it is considered to be the most important vocabulary needed for IELTS writing because it helps to expand your vocabulary. It helps to expand your lexical resources. And when you read the band descriptor given by Cambridge, if you see that it is specifically written there for 7 bands, the candidate who uses less common lexical resources with some awareness of style and collocation deserves 7 bands. So if you want 7+ bands, then it is for sure that you should apply collocations. For example, what can be the collocations? For example, throw a party or commit a crime. We always say commit a crime. We never say do a crime. Or you can say make an excuse. These all words are collocations because they go in combination. In your writing task 2, for 7 or 7+ bands or for higher bands, you should have 9, 10, 11 collocations at least. But the difficulty arises is when you start searching about collocations on the internet, the list is very, very long. From A to Z, there are more than thousands of collocations, and then there are a lot of grammatical rules also attached with it. So in this video, I'm not going to discuss the details of grammar because then it will be very, very confusing, and it is not practically possible for a student to learn the grammatical rules of collocations and then learn all the collocations. So what I have done is I have picked up some of the most important collocations which can be easily applied in writing task 2 of IELTS. So let's get started. First collocation is associated with. Associated with is a collocation which means linked with, connected with something. For example, the problem of job scarcity is associated with the government. Job scarcity means lack of jobs. So this problem is associated with means connected with the government. Next collocation, key contribution, crucial contribution, main contribution, vital role, significant role. All these collocations have one meaning, which means main role. And I consider these collocations to be very, very important because a lot of times students have the habit of writing very important role, very or important. These are very common words. So please don't write in your writing task if you want higher bands. You can say key contribution, crucial role, main role, prime role. It will sound much more better. It will make your sentence structure look much more better. For example, wild animals have a significant contribution in our ecosystem. On number 3rd collocation is as far as dash is concerned. Dash is concerned means related to something. In dash you can write whatever is related. For an instance, as far as economic benefits of tourism are concerned, it generates numerous job opportunities. So as far as economic benefits are concerned, or you can say as far as personal benefits of tourism are concerned, as far as personal benefits of reading books are concerned, in this way you can use this collocation. On number 4 collocation is lies with. Lies with means responsibility of someone. The fault lies with the government, or you can say the solution lies with the government. On number 5 collocation is in certain circumstances, which means in some special cases or situations. In certain circumstances, people intend to migrate from one place to another. Intend means to plan. In certain circumstances, people take the decision of migrating from one place to another. Certain circumstances is a collocation which is making my sentence structure look more uncommon. And when my sentence structure becomes uncommon, examiner is definitely gonna give you higher bands. Then is go further than that means to spread beyond expectation, means when something has a very large impact than it was expected. So the impact of government policies always go further than that it is shown. Okay, next collocation is, which is again very, very, very important, that is at the verge of. At the verge of means at the edge of something, at the end point of something, something which is about to finish, something which is about to die. Many animal species are at the verge of extinction, are at the edge of extinction. At the verge of is a very nice collocation. It is rarely used by students. So if you are going to apply it, examiner will definitely get impressed. Let's move on further. Next is considerably difficult or greatly difficult, which means something which is very hard to do. So for example, it is considerably difficult for the youngsters to attain their desired jobs. Attain means to get. Considerably difficult means very difficult. So when you want to say something is very tough, very difficult, rather than saying very, we can say considerably. Considerably difficult, greatly difficult. See the difference. Considerably difficult is formal, a matured style, and very difficult is very informal. So which is better? Obviously considerably or greatly difficult is much more better. So that's why we should use collocations. Next is extensive damage or widespread damage, which means something that has a negative effect at a very large scale. For example, the effect of global warming has extensive damage on every single living being. And on number 10, next collocation is, main concern, growing concern, or principal concern, which means main issue. For example, increasing rate of youth crime is a growing concern in many countries these days. Is the main issue these days. Youth crime is a main concern, is a principal concern these days. Let's move on further. Classic example, typical example, perfect example, specific example, or you can say notable or obvious example. These all collocations are used when you want to describe an example which is very known to everyone, world known example. So see how I've written it. A classic example of atomic bomb disaster is of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So when you are quoting an example in your writing task, don't start that example with for an example. That's very, very common style. You can say for an instance, for an illustration, to cite an example. But if that example is well known to everyone, for instance, you are going to write something about America or India and Pakistan. So in these examples are well known. They are classic examples, typical examples. So then you can start your sentence structure from a classic example of it could be, or you can say a typical example of it could be, or an obvious example of it could be. Next, customers, employees, or students, which means those who can become customers, employees, students in future. They have the potential of becoming. They can turn your customers, or they can turn your upcoming employees or students. Their potential or employees or students. For example, the advertising agencies always target their potential customers by creating attractive ads. Next is utter chaos or total chaos. Chaos means a state of confusion, complete disaster, complete illusion, confusion. Lack of sufficient resources cause utter chaos in people's life. Because of lack of resources, because of scarcity of ample amount of resources, there is obviously a lot of chaos in people's life. On number 14, collocation is entirely different or entirely responsible, entirely agree. Entirely here means completely. So all these collocations don't have the same meaning, but what I want to show is that from entirely there are different collocations, and entirely is a very nice word. Entirely here means completely. The government of any country is entirely responsible for its poor economic state. On number 15, next collocation, face challenges that go beyond, which means to face challenges which are very huge and very unexpected. So, for an instance, the underprivileged communities of a country face challenges during global recession which go beyond the expectation. Underprivileged communities means poor communities, underprivileged communities, and they usually face those challenges which go beyond the expectation, which are usually not expected, neither by the government nor by the people. 5 more collocations I'm going to discuss in this video. So number 16 is beneficial ramification, which means fruitful results. Fruitful means beneficial. So beneficial ramification means something which has positive results. Eating balanced diet and doing adequate physical exercise have beneficial ramifications. Next is positively correlate with, which means to have a positive link, to have a positive coordination with something, a positive connection with something. The demand of a product positively correlates with its price. I think everybody knows that demand and price have a positive correlation. Next is in this regard, or in this case, which means in this context. The poor people are getting poorer day by day. In this regard, the government has to take certain steps. In this regard means in this case, in context with it. Second last collocation we have is a notable number, which means many. In my previous video, I discussed that you should not use many word again and again. Many people, many children, many students. You can convert that sentence in a different way. So notable number is a collocation, you can write it. A notable number of people these days are on social media. And the last collocation which I have is the disparity between, which means the difference between something. The disparity between the rich and poor countries is increasing, which means the difference between the poor countries are getting poorer day by day and the richer countries are getting richer day by day. So that's all in today's video. I hope you liked it. Please watch this video again and again. You can prepare notes side by side. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, then I request you to subscribe it and hit the bell button also, so that you can get all the notifications. I'll be back with another video soon. Goodbye.